just got out of, I think it's called Davis Monthan military base there in Tucson. So I'm trying to find my way back to the interstate. They, where they escorted me out at, I didn't have any idea where I was at. I was like 10 miles away and on the opposite side of the base from where I came in. Got a load of hospital beds and an old drill press. What else? Some toolboxes. Then I got to go up to Fort Carson and pick up a piece of drilling equipment. And I think there's one other piece up there. So we're up at this Black Mesa Travel Plaza. I just ran out of hours. That's a casino. I think that's a casino over there. But stuck in traffic. Probably not too often. Hospital beds get moved on flatbed trailers. So we got 4 hospital beds. And this up here is just a bunch of little toolboxes and an old drill press. But I've got pieces of these things stored all over the trailer. See these drawers, they move in and out. There's like, I've got the piece that was in here. It started vibrating back, and I've got it stored up in a toolbox. So I've got two boxes in here. It's like office supplies. So I taped up the front of that one to keep that from sliding out. Parts of the bed stored in here. That's the chunk that was vibrating out the back. Put it in here. But they really hadn't been riding too bad. I'm trying not to over tighten them. I mean, they got a little bit of slack in there, but these, I don't think they're fragile. But when I was winching down on this one, I mean, it was loose, but I was winching down on it, and it's starting to, I mean, you can see the strap kind of compressing that bed there, so I don't want to break them. There's that old drill press. I bet you could get it for real cheap. I mean, it looks like a really heavy duty, like a good one. I don't know about heavy duty, but I mean, they don't put stamps on them like that when they're made in China, or the cheap ones at least. So it's probably a pretty decent machine, or it was at one point in its life. And I've got part of the drill press riding shotgun with me. So just a little reminder so I don't forget all the other stuff and all the different storage places in the truck and trailer. No telling what those beds have been through. For them to ship them on a flatbed without a tarp even, you know, they're not too worried about the condition of them or anything like that. But he said if you're interested in a used Humvee, he said they just got a bunch of them in at the auction site there. Like there's an airfield in Morena, just north of Tucson, between Tucson and Phoenix. Well, there's apparently like a government auction storage place there, or auction site there. And he said they brought in over 100 old Humvees. And he said some of them have less than like 25,000 miles on them. So I need to look into those. I don't really have extra room to store them, but yeah, go check out the government auction sites. You might pick up a really cheap Humvee. Oh, made it up to Colby, Kansas. This is not the fastest route, but when I picked up Fort Carson yesterday, there was a this is what we got from Fort Carson. Yeah. I don't know. This one's pretty weird. I started out with chains. These things are so weak, you can't put any pressure on them. They're really not supposed to be pulled to the side at all. But I just threw a strap over it. It's way over secured, but I still don't like it. It's like a duck heater is what it's called, duct heater. Yeah, it is what it is. I was just trying to get the heck out of there. I got pulled over by DOT yesterday on my way up there, so because of this, they said my flag is covering my license plate, but he didn't do anything. I mean, he was a cool guy. Trooper Cunningham in Colorado. He told me up front, right when he pulled me over, he said it's inspection season. I've got to get, I forget if he said like 25 or 35 inspections in, but he said we got to hit our numbers. But I have to have a reason to pull you over. And the reason I pulled you over, well, first of all, was because of your signs covering your license plate, which it is. I'm gonna fix it. He told me I didn't have to fix it right away. But then when he was behind me, he didn't turn his lights on yet. And then I got over in the left lane to let traffic merge in from an on-ramp, and he was behind me. Well, so I slowed down and I let one of the cars speed up and get ahead, so I got back over so I wasn't like blocking, so we weren't taking up both lanes. And he said I got over too fast behind that car. I was like, well, you were behind me. I thought you might have had somewhere important to go. He said, yeah, you gotta wait. You were following too close there for a second. So he asked if I was in a hurry, and I said, yeah. I explained I'm trying to get up to the second military base. There's 815 miles between the two picks, and I'm almost there, but I only had 3 hours left before they stopped receiving. And I said, and I plan on it taking like 2 hours to get through the security check-in, process. And he said, these are military? He said, this doesn't look like a military load. I said, yeah, I just handed him this like huge stack of, like, that's the bill of ladings. That's all there's like a whole novel full of paperwork. He took all that paperwork back there with him, and my registration and everything. And he came back and he said, all right, I'm not even gonna do an inspection. I'm not gonna write any tickets. And he asked me, he said, how do your logs look? Well, I just run out of hours the night before north of Albuquerque. Yeah, so the night before in Albuquerque, there was like an accident. I was less than 10 miles, I was right at 10 miles from the truck stop I was going to. And something happened. I had 46 minutes left on my clock when I came into that traffic jam. And like I said, I had like 10, maybe 12 miles to go. And the traffic jam lasted over 46 minutes because I ran out of hours. I think I got out of there I think I was like -3 on my 8-hour clock. And that's what I told him. I said it wasn't like, I never did a 30-minute reset, so it wasn't my 11 or my 14. I said I ran out on my 8. And he just said, well, you're just talking about a 30-minute break. I'm not worried about it. So, and I told him, I said, I've got video evidence of what happened, like when I was running out of hours, like the situation I was in. And he said, well, that's not that big of a deal if it's just the 8-hour. He did say save that video though, so I'm gonna save the video. That might be why Trooper Cunningham let me, I don't know why he let me off. One thing might have happened is he saw I was in a hurry and I was hauling stuff for the military, or it could have been because he looked in the system and saw I just had an out of service violation from Arkansas the week before. He's like, man, I don't want to screw this guy's whole life up. 2 violations within 7 days. Like, I'm not sure what's going to happen with my insurance for that out of service. I mean, it's a flat tire, and I hate my insurance company anyways, so I'm quitting them, but will it affect other insurance? I don't know. I mean, that's all I really care about. I could care less about CSA or SMS or any points. I'm not trying to hang a plaque up on the wall showing that I have a good score. But if it costs me money, that's what I care about. I mean, a flat tire, a tire that doesn't blow. I mean, that's the problem, is it didn't blow. It leaked air out slowly, and then, you know, it just started vibrating around, so it became completely flat, but it never came off. It was, and somehow, I don't know how this happened, but my air pressure wasn't even bleeding down. It's like the auto inflation had like a check valve and it just stopped pushing air into that tire. Because I normally always can tell when a tire is losing air, on the trailer at least. But yeah, didn't work. And the guy that changed it, he said the auto inflation, the thing was loose on there. I don't know. Well, okay, what might have happened is a couple weeks before that is I had I picked up a nail and so I did have to have the outer tire patched, not that tire, but the one right next to it patched. So it's possible they didn't tighten the auto inflation hose back all the way when they did that.
In 1 mile, turn right onto East 4th Street.
I don't know. They said normally, if that was the case,
Railroad crossing ahead.
It would have bled out of air within just a day or two. Like, these auto inflation systems are notorious for leaking air. It's like they make you need the auto inflation because the system itself bleeds air out slowly. We're here at the West Park truck stop in South Huron, South Dakota. But I pretty much had this whole place to myself. That white truck showed up like late yesterday afternoon, but other than that, it was just me and that little utility truck down there. So it's not a bad place, not real big. But parking lot's the biggest thing here. Everything's riding good. It's pretty chilly for the end of April. Yeah, this thing. That thing's got enough securement on it to, pretty sure that'd be good for like a 25,000, 30,000 pound piece. 35,000. I had to throw a bungee to keep that bed from flopping back, or the mat on the bed. We're about 1.6 miles away, so be over there in less than 2 minutes. asked the ladies inside if I could use the footage, because it's federal property or government property, and so I just wanted to make sure it was okay to use the footage. They said, yeah, you can tag us in our Facebook page. So they gave me their card to tag them on Facebook. These are always interesting places. They've just got all sorts of different, like this building's full of, look like really high quality tools, just like old tools that the military's not going to use anymore. But probably most of them are American made. I'd imagine most everything's American made, high quality stuff. Yeah, I wasn't able to get another load booked. I made that head down towards like Sioux City or Omaha. If y'all made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Y'all stay safe out there and take care. Once I figure out where I'm going, we'll catch back up on the next one. Find a notary, and there's a UPS store here. I talked to them. They said we don't have any room for a truck. Even Bobtail, they said there's not enough room. But they said there's a McDonald's a couple stores down, and then next to the McDonald's is an abandoned gas station. I said you should be able to park at that gas station.
Turn right onto Market Street West.
And it's here in town. I'm only like 2 miles away from it. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, and that duck eater wasn't going anywhere. I know it was way over
the next
secured.
light, turn right.
I guess I never really explained why it ended up like that. Lighter pieces like that, I didn't weigh very much. It was too heavy for me to pick up by hand, but those tend to move and vibrate on the trailer more than heavy pieces. So I'm always kind of extra cautious. And the straps on the top, they were coming over some sheet metal on the side, so I didn't really feel comfortable strapping it tight. What I should have done is grab those little tie-off points I have the chains on the one side. I should have grabbed those with some little loop straps and just pulled them straight, directly perpendicular across towards the side of the trailer. Because they're not really meant to be pulling off. I barely had those things tight at all. Just because I didn't want to.
At the light, turn right onto Highway 37.
Didn't want to bend them too much. So. Yeah. It was definitely secured. So how I ended up with all that securement on it is because I had the 4 chains, but I knew since I wasn't gonna go too tight with the chains on one side of it.
In 1.5 miles, turn right into the parking lot.
So I didn't feel too good about that. So that's how I ended up throwing the strap over it. And there was a couple other little areas I could have grabbed onto it, but none of them were set up to where it would be exactly uniform. It wouldn't be pulling equally, because one of them would have had to go around another piece, or they could have broken a piece too. So It definitely got there in one piece though. And actually I was really glad I had that strap on there because there was nowhere to do a load check. It took me 70 miles to get to the first load check. And when I got up there, the chains on that one side were real loose. Like they were basically ready to fall off of it. That was real bad winds. It felt like 50 or 60 mile per hour winds for, I don't know, 60% of the time I was driving.
In 1 mile, turn right into the parking lot.
So I'm hoping to pass the UPS store and then see a McDonald's. And I need to buy a new microphone. Well, 2 people have told me I sound real muffled on the CB. And it seems like it's a good transmission, but it's just, I think it's just the microphone. This is an old Cobra Classic, so they don't have really good microphones. Pretty sure I paid less than 150 bucks for this thing. But I think I'm gonna get one of those, I think they're called aesthetic mics. Supposedly they're decent. I mean, anything would be an upgrade from what I've got. Okay, there's a Casey's. Definitely no room in there. AT&T. They probably got room in that AT&T store, but still hadn't even passed UPS. It's really gonna suck if I get up here and there's like another truck blocking this gas station. Advanced Auto, there's room for a truck in there. ABC or Advanced or something. There's a UPS store that I'm trying to go to. No room for a truck. There's McDonald's, so it should be right. Okay.
Right into the parking lot, then arrive at your destination.
That's smaller than I thought. Make it work.
Arrive at your destination. Arrived.
They told me this place was closed.